Michelle Smith, a garden manager at Garden to Table, and this is Leslie, one of our trusty garden coordinators, Leslie Norcross. We're here to discuss some best practices for spring gardening, and I hope that our guests will interject with questions. We'll mostly wait till the end, but please just speak up if you have a question in the moment. So we'll try to touch on the following things: crop rotation, cover crops, my favorite topic, mulching, methods for improving soil structure, which relates to some of the other things, and irrigation practices. Do all of those things interest you all? Which ones interest you the most? Do you all have anything you want to hear the most about? How about you, Wyatt? Mulching. Sounds good. Cool. Anybody else?
Crop rotation.
What's that?
Crop rotation.
Yeah, you bet. Okay, cool. Let's talk crop rotation right away, because I don't have a piece of paper for it. This reason that we do a crop rotation is that each crop uses different nutrients from the soil. And it's very, very helpful for the soil health to have different plants when we're growing annual plants, to have different annual plants each season. When you plant the same thing repetitively, you'll find that year after year the quality of that crop degrades because it's just pulling so hard on the same old nutrients every year. That relates to cover cropping because cover crops help us to have something other than the crop we're growing for harvest in between. So we'll talk more about it soon. Okay, so I've heard it said that, and I'll use my clamp, I've heard it said that good farmers grow vegetables and great farmers grow soil. So same's true for gardeners. If we can always keep the soil health in mind, we'll have better vegetables, we'll have a stronger crop. I find soil health so fun to talk about, and so anytime you want to pull me aside for more discussion about this, I'll take you out for a meal so we can talk about it some more. More people talking about soil is pretty exciting to me. So I didn't label these yet. I'm curious if you all have a guess. If this is our soil profile, what these different sections amount to. 1 to 7%, 25, 25, and 43 to 49%. What do you think these represent? Any ideas?
Irrigation.
Irrigation is this one, or this one, I suppose. So water. Healthy soil has 25% water and room for water, pore space for water and air, which is the other one. I gave it away. So water, 25%, air, 25%. What do these other two things represent, do you think?
Minerals?
Yeah. So this is sediments and mineral content. And it takes thousands of years to develop this part of our soil base. And so the reason soil health is a passion of mine is because it takes so long for good, healthy topsoil to be what it is. And as a culture right now, in recent generations, we are annihilating that precious resource. And so if we can teach ourselves and kids in our schools more about soil health, I think we'll improve our reverence for our soil throughout the globe and think more thoughtfully about how we're treating our soil as we grow our food. So let's call that mineral content, rock and sediment. And then this one, what do you think?
Rocks?
Actually, that's still here, but this one, what's that?
Plants?
Yeah, plant matter, alive and dying and dead, including animals, dead and dying, and organisms that are alive. So we call it organic matter. Compost is a form of organic matter. Cover crops, decomposing, that's a form of organic matter. And you're going to hear me say a lot in this time that we have together that to solve many problems in the garden, you just add organic matter. I work with a farmer named John Martin, who is fond of saying that he doesn't mind, he's not all that interested in thinking about pests and disease issues and scrutinizing what each pest might be. And and understanding exactly what disease is affecting a crop. He just adds organic matter, builds the soil, has fewer issues, and he's been doing it that way for 27 years. So adding organic matter really saves the day. Where organic activity is high, soil forms faster. And that's what we're in the business of doing, is creating good soil, keeping good soil good. To improve aeration and drainage, we want so much water and air. To improve our air and water content, we feed the soil the soil organisms their number one food, organic matter. Other reasons, root activity shuts down in waterlogged soils. So we don't want more than 25% water in our soils. That affects our soil oxygen, right? So low soil oxygen is the most limiting factor in plant growth. And also we've written here, shallow roots have low tolerance to drought and they're vulnerable to wind. I suppose that's fairly intuitive, right? That if you have strong, long roots, the plant is more resilient to change and can reach deep into the resources in the soil to be strong. Any questions about the makeup of our soil profile? We'll be going into some other connected ideas, but tell me now if this is clear to you.
You said low soil oxygen. How do you guarantee that